Welcome in everyone, James here, and in this video I am going to be showing you the final tower in Atlantica. Now there is a gate, the last gate you will find, and once you open that gate you get access to the final tower. There's nothing else there, just this tower, and now you get some pretty good loot for completing the tower on the way up. I will show you the enemies on each floor on the way up and the build that I am using, but I'm not going to show you the entire fights because if I did, this video would be about an hour long. It takes a while anyway because these enemies are quite high level. So this is the build that I am using. I have got one poison resist charm on my mythic helmet, and then I've got this yellow side piece that has 2 acid resist charms and 2 more poison resist charms. Now that brings me up to 100% poison resist from those 3 charms, and it's needed in this tower. There's a variety of the enemies that you find across Atlantica all the way up. There's some trolls, there's some beast enemies, there's those big demon things, but there is a lot of outlaws, so the poison damage does become quite heavy as you go up. You get 24 drops of patience on the way up, which is cool. You get a unique sword and you get a unique axe as well, and you get another unique sword at the end after you beat the boss. Now I'm going to show you the boss fight, the heroes that I'm using on the screen there, Erin and Logan, and that is what the dark one looks like. Dark one Orthoplex, I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. Now this fight is not difficult. I was quite surprised actually compared to how Ultra Carnage was when Kanheim first come out before they nerfed it. Ultra Carnage, it had a variety of all the new enemies. You went into the fight, there were 2 Backle Bears straight up. They can stun you on the first round. There was the Golem Archers in the back, Goblin Healers and Cultist Cannons in the back on the second round, and it was a good variety of the new enemies. This level, however, is just not. All there is the boss and the Atlantican outlaws. So all you have to do is attune 3 pieces of your mythic to outlaw, and then if you are using weaken and protect, none of these enemies will be able to deal any damage to you from their attacks. Now the other thing that the outlaws do is when they attack you they can put poison on you. So this is why I've got 100% poison resist. Okay, now their poison is neutralized. Their poison can't deal any damage to me either. The only enemy in this entire fight that can deal damage to me is the dark one, because you cannot attune to the dark ones because they don't have a type. And his skill, it hits you direct health damage and it puts poison on you. Now we are immune to the poison, but we are not immune to the direct health damage. And another thing that he does as well is he has an unlimited haste buff, which can be quite tricky because each turn he can hit you 4 times and charge his power up to hit your health directly, and that becomes quite annoying. Now you can nullify this if you have a dispel hero like Dokio or Ayako, and then you can just dispel it. He will only hit you once, and then I'm assuming his power will charge up really slowly. The only enemy that we can take damage from with this setup that I have here is the boss himself, and that is huge and honestly makes for quite a boring fight. There is these big outlaw things in the front and they have the protect, so you need to focus on them. Try to take them out one at a time because every time you hit them you charge their power. I had Erin here, so I was dealing heavy damage to these guys. If you play Alchemist, Millicent works well for these enemies because she can stun them to stop them using their protect, and it's direct health damage which really shreds these guys. A couple of poison charms as well if you want to boost her rage, and these guys will be no problem whatsoever. Just make sure that you are using weaken and protect though, because of the fact that all these enemies are the same type. You only need 3 attunements and you just won't take any damage. None of the enemies on the field are resistant to stun, and the boss himself is vulnerable to stun. So Ayako or Dokio, if you have them max stars, they have stun and weaken, and it would just make this level even easier still. And both Dokio and Ayako have dispel as well, so you can take that unlimited haste buff off of him and it would just make this level a joke pretty much. Even Millicent, because she has poison, she hits direct health, with both her base power and her rage power, and she has stun as well, so you could lock down this boss. With the chaotic gauntlet, she will charge in 3 moves, so you can lock down this boss and just keep him stunned every single turn with Millicent on her own, as long as you have an alchemist speed gauntlet. So it does make it easier to tackle with a variety of different builds, because it's not that difficult in all honesty, but just trying to make it efficient and get through it quickly as you can, because if you cannot get rid of that haste buff, then you will take quite significant damage, and it will probably catch you by surprise once you do get into the second round. Another thing you have to remember as well is when you hit these dark ones, they put unfocus on you. So if you are using the Maverick Gauntlet, try and avoid hitting them if you can, but all of the dark ones are the same. They will put unfocus on you when you hit them. Now all I have to do is finish off the outlaws and I'm done. I was pretty disappointed with the way this fight went. It was lackluster. I was expecting the final boss to at least be a little bit challenging. If they'd have put a diverse mix of all of the new enemies in there, so that the trolls were dealing acid and there was the beast enemies that can direct health hit you with their power, this fight could have been a lot better than it was. It was just pretty boring, to be honest. But that is just my opinion, and that is it from me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have been James B Online. Good luck out there.